Preventing food allergies in children, and this presentation looks at how we might be able to prevent food allergies in children through encouraging food diversity. Okay, so looking at sensitization, so exposure to allergens in early life may be able to reduce the allergenicity or sensitization to these allergens later in life. And there are basic theories around concerning the importance of dietary variety, which have gained greater traction recently in some scientific findings, in particular to some research published in the early part of this year, 2014, in a particular journal, which does raise some questions in my mind surrounding the relationship between food diversity to help prevent food allergies versus the role of food diversity to help with food preferences and just general nutrition. So the first study, and this was a really, really good study, well, one of three really good studies, it analysed data from 3,142 Finnish children, analysing their food diversity at 3, 4, 6 and 12 months. And the researchers found that the food diversity at 3 and 4 months didn't really relate to asthma or allergies or anything like that. But at 6 months, they found that the lower the food diversity, the actual increased risk of the development of allergic rhinitis. And at 12 months, the less food diversity was associated with, as you can see on this slide, asthma, atopic asthma, wheeze, and allergic rhinitis. The second study, which was somewhat similar, but they also obtained some serum IgE levels, looked at 1,277 mother-child pairs in the US, and they obtained food frequency questionnaires from the mother in the first and second trimester. And they also obtained data on the children when they're around 7.9 years of age. And this data was relating to food allergies, general allergies like asthma, allergic rhinitis, atopic dermatitis, as well as their serum IgE levels, which we know is the immunoglobulin that's related closely to allergies. And the results were that of the children, 5.6% had a food allergy and 28% were sensitized to at least one food allergen. What was interesting, however, was that the peanut intake by the mothers during the first trimester actually correlated to or was associated with a 47% reduced odds of the child having a peanut allergy. And also the milk during the first trimester, mothers consuming milk during the first trimester, was also associated with a reduced asthma and allergic rhinitis in the children at 7.9 years of age. And the wheat intake of the mother, so when a mother consumed wheat during the second trimester, that was also associated with a reduced atopic dermatitis in the children. So the third study, before we look at it, we'll just quickly have a look at one of the proteins that it assessed, and this was the FOXP3 protein, or the fork-head box protein 3, which is a transcription factor that has been found to play an absolutely crucial role in the suppressive function of regulatory T cells, and it occurs a lot in the literature surrounding regulatory T cells, obviously. So in this third study, they obtained data from 856 children, and they looked at the feeding practices obtained via the parental diary, as well as questionnaires on allergies from birth to 6 years of age. And what they found was that an increased diversity of food was inversely associated with asthma in a dose-dependent manner. So the more food diversity, the less development of asthma, food allergies, and food sensitization. It was significantly associated with increased expression of fork-head box protein 3, which we just looked at, which is obviously the transcription factor which plays a crucial role in the suppressive function of regulatory T cells. So food variety actually improved the expression of an essential transcription factor in the suppressive function of regulatory T cells. So it has a very deep sort of metabolic effect. And it also decreased the expression of the C epsilon germline transcript. And it's interesting that vitamin D, or one of the mechanisms that they think vitamin D might actually have a sort of anti-allergy function, is through decreasing, the expression of these germline transcript. So should we recommend food variety in all patients, in all children, all mothers? Well, obviously we have to take them within context of the patient. So in children suffering from leaky gut, and probably mothers suffering from leaky gut, the allergens are more likely to penetrate deeper into the intestinal mucosa. So it may be better to try to reduce the intake of the allergen first, resolve that inflammation, resolve the leaky gut before encouraging food diversity. It's important also to consider that these studies don't tell us how much of an allergen these children are exposed to. So my take on that is simply moderation is key here again. A variety of foods at a moderate intake with a high turnover of different flavors, of different nutrients, of different allergens is probably the best way to go. So in conclusion, Within the context of unsafe foods during pregnancy, as well as infant allergies, infant leaky gut, and that sort of thing, consider recommending a very varied, a very rotational diet which exposes mothers and infants to as varied a diet as possible to help prevent, in some respects, the development of food allergies or general allergies.